we've made it to the end of another week, dear viewer, and it's time for another beer review. And I'm a bit tired because it's been a hard week. Been in the hospital. Went out last night to meet the guys from Gamera, and ended up having a few beers. Um, but yeah, all good times, definitely. So Friday's here, and we're going back to the beers of the world. And for a change, this, like I say, is actually getting back to what the magazine was really good at. So this is a write-up of the brewery that we're doing. It's a double pager again. Basqueland, who are obviously from over in Spain. Apparently the founders were two American guys, which yeah, I didn't know before. So, and I've had a few of their beers now. So maybe I should have known that, but I didn't. So never mind. Anyway, here is the beer. It is called Robusto Combusto. It's a coffee porter, and that is a coffee bush setting on fire. I believe it's something about setting fire to the rainforest and that kind of stuff. But yeah, really interesting. 4.2, so it's not a massively strong one, but that's absolutely fine. Contains real coffee. And then we've got obviously hops, yeast. Oh, it says caramel there, and carbon dioxide. So yeah, interesting. But look at that. I love that. A coffee bush that's on fire. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure why, but it's probably an environmental thing, I'd imagine. Right, now this is really tight, this beer, so, well, the can. I'm definitely giving it a pressure test. There we go. And it hasn't exploded, so that's good. Although there was some hissing from that top of that can. Brilliant. No headies. Ask for Basque. Or Basque, as it should be. Wow, hardly any head on that bad boy at all. There we go. Good fingers head and lovely coloured head as well. I like it when the head's a little bit darker than you'd expect. And the carbonation's forming, but look at that. Lovely fluffy kind of colour there. Let us do one of these legend in my own lunchtime type things. Something like that. Boom. So let's get into this thing. Let's get into it, as that Australian guy says. Oh, lovely. It's all about roastness, this one. Interestingly, I'm getting more just roast malt than I'm getting like a roasted coffee kind of aroma. There is coffee there, obviously, but it's kind of dark and roasted and oh. So it's a porter with coffee added to it, not a specific coffee porter, I don't think. Even though, isn't it? Did it say a coffee porter? Yeah, that's what they called it. Of course they did. Nice. Right. Cheers to you, dear viewer. Hope all is well. And there's always room for beer in this world. Sometimes more than others, but yeah, life is that little bit more bearable when you've got a beer in your hand. Cheers. Oh, oh. I was gonna say, I'm really glad they put a little hint of that caramel in because you can taste that sweetness, and then that second, it went really bitter and astringent again. But really nice. like a lot of these beers that have kind of flavors and things, unusual things to me, a man in his middle years, um, I don't think I could drink loads of these. I guess it's like an espresso coffee. You can't drink more than about three, or you'll just go completely bonkers. Um, but yeah, that bitterness, oh, nice, rich, robusto, robusto combusto, lovely thick line along the top there. It's something that I really like to see, dear viewer, as you probably well know by now if you're watching this video. If not, think about subscribing, all that kind of stuff. That does help me out a lot. Oh, it's that roastness that's like bonfires. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be, the combusto part of it. It's so dark, it's so roasty. It tastes like there's a bonfire going off in my mouth. Interesting because I don't know if you've been to, they don't seem to happen that much because of PC and woke nonsense and elf and safety. But we used to have bonfires on bonfire night, funnily enough, and sometimes at other times of the year. Um, and your clothes smell of that bonfire kind of smell. That's kind of what's going on inside my mouth. It's really, really roasted, really dark, and quite carbonated. Wow. They did say that they put some CO2 on this beer. Um, because it's been in the fridge, that's being reabsorbed into the liquid, into suspension, which is glad because otherwise the can would have exploded. But what it does mean is when you drink a beer that's cold, there's a lot of carbon dioxide within the liquid that you're drinking, and it's going to come back out, isn't it? Oh, that's so soothing. It's a winter drink. It's something. Oh, winter time in Spain, perhaps. Oh, just oh. I mean, it's so dark. It is like drinking fire. Wow. I'm spoilt for choice as to the head. Look at that. The lacing on that glass is something absolutely ridiculously fierce. But that's cool. And some lines. And then the bottom line is just one solid, solid amount of head. Absolutely ridiculous. That is a really nice beer. So there we go. That's Basqueland Brewery, Robusto Combusto Coffee Porter. It's a good beer. That's a really nice one. If you agree, if you're doing the beer 52 thing and you agree, why not let me know in the comments down below what you think of this beer? But yeah, I thought this was a very good one. This is definitely going to be a 4 out of 5, I'd say. Maybe a 4.5 even. Cheers and beers. Anyway, dear viewer, I should let you on your way, being Friday night, and you've probably got to do important things like going to the pub, perhaps, or drinking beer at home. Who knows? It's been Uncle Jonah here. Thank you for spending some time with me. Don't worry, because I will return for another beer review real soon.